it's Rhea, and today I am coming to you with behind the scenes of the Coughing Baby show. I wanted to just talk about it. It was not a big project, luckily, thank God. So it took me about like 2 days to put together, but there was some neat stuff I think is worth looking at. So first of all, the conception of the idea. So Gigi comes to me and she says, Rhea, I have an idea. It's a shitpost. I want a professional shitpost. I was like, Gigi, what do you mean? What are you talking about? What are you doing? So she tells me that she wants to do a coughing baby contest, and it's meant to just look really good and be really professional looking, but it's just meant to be complete garbage. And I was so down because it sounded really fun. So I pretty much just cracked on with it. We got on Vani again to do the art, which means that of course it was beautiful. It looked amazing. I was super happy. I love working with her. I can be like, hey Vani, I have a really great idea. Can we just have like this and then elaborate prop piece? And she'll just be like, yeah, that sounds amazing. And then she goes and draws it. So it's awesome. So yeah, I kind of got free reign on the effects that I could do with it. I had a call with Gigi where I went over like, okay, I've made a mock-up of the show. I unfortunately don't have that to show you guys, but it was essentially just I took stock assets and I put them together, and then I made a couple of like actions in Streamerbot to show like, hey, you can change your the numbers on your thing. Like I can give you a way to put text on the screen. If you want it to be numbers, we can do numbers. If you want it to be text, I can make it text. Like we need to design the stage appropriately, but it's whatever you want. And I want to give you guys some more buttons, like effects that you can do during the show and something. I'll just like, I was gonna freestyle it, but the base idea was there. She was happy with it. We got Vani on board. Vani started sketching up the backgrounds and the beautiful stuff, and Gigi started contacting contestants. And I know what you're thinking. I know you're gonna ask about Northern Lion, and I'll get there later. You have to wait for it. You have to wait for it. And if you can't wait for it, I will have timestamped this video on YouTube so you can skip ahead to it. But yeah, so essentially it is 2 views. We have the live baby scene here. Essentially the way that I make these in OBS is I will have a live scene, and this contains all the other scenes inside of it. So as you can see here, I'll get to spiraling a bit, Gigi. That's very sad tale that I'll get to. We have full body PNG. This was used for the ending Winders cut thing. I'll get to that. Fauna reaction cut and Gigi reaction cut. These were used for the cut-ins on the main screen. It looks like this. Whoa, hey, it's me. Hey. Obviously these had Gigi and Fauna on them during the live thing. There's the live Fauna reaction. This had the live Fauna reaction for the Northern Lion bit. Then there's the Coughing Baby stage and Coughing Baby judges. And these are our 2 main scenes. So for the stage, it was reasonably simple. I turned off the videos of the backgrounds because recording this and myself for this video at the same time caused my PC to go so I turned it off. But yeah, it's all really kind of easy, and that there are like layers here, and then I would just have contestant videos. Essentially, I originally was planning on trying to do some like editing or like movement with the contestants to have them kind of come on the stage, but then I said to Gigi, like, Gigi, please, I'm begging you, ask the contestants themselves to make their video where they move themselves onto the screen and then they cough and then they move themselves off the screen themselves. Like, you know, make them do a little dragging of the model, make it look like they're walking by going up and down. Like, please, it's so much easier if they do it and I don't have to do it. Thank you. Especially because this was quite like a short deadline and stuff. So like we received all of the contestants' videos. A couple of people asked me if I had edited any of them, as in like when Ollie sneezed, she flies off the screen. Did I do that? I was like, no, I didn't. I did not touch anything. All I did was fit them on the stage, so they looked proportional to each other, and that's it. Like you'll notice that some of them did do the walk on, some of them did not, and just appeared out of nowhere like a freaking jump scare in a horror movie, just like, oh, cough, cough. Yeah, so I didn't touch any of that. It was pretty easy in the end. I did not end up moving anything. I did not end up trying to replicate the movement of the video, because most of the time as well, if they didn't have the walk on, it meant that they kind of started the video and then instantly started speaking. So I would have had to have done a bunch of weird shit where I show the start of the video, pause it, then have it move it, like walk on, and then unpause it. It's just this stupid, and it would take forever, so I didn't want to do that. So we kept it pretty easy and pretty clean. A lot of scuff in the idea of execution. You know, I was like, hey Gigi, do you want me to like make a name card for everyone that comes on? She's like, no, more scuff, more scuff. I'm like, okay, got you, girl, no problem. Yeah, so the stage was relatively simple. I actually messed up, I think, with some of my ideas. So I wanted there to be a lot of fun stuff that could happen when a contestant was on the stage. I added these cut-ins, right? Like I wanted it so that if I go to live, sorry, I wanted it to be so that if I was Gigi and something really funny happened, then I could be reacting to them, and then me, the producer, I would pull in Gigi and it'd be like, ha 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 ha, you know, like Lamau, reaction, and then maybe Fauna chimes in, and then Fauna's like, ha ha ha, yes, I agree, la 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 la, right? So I had these cut-ins thinking it'd be really cool, like a little Persona-y-ish type cut-in reaction bit. Unfortunately, Gigi and Fauna were both extremely respectful of all of the contestants. I don't think they ever spoke over any of them. So I never really got to use that naturally. I ended up forcing it because after Staff came on, I believe it was, Fauna was like, I was so blown away we had Staff on that I didn't even listen to their cough.
I feel like I was so stunned that I didn't process what I was hearing properly.
And I was like, oh, perfect. I'm going to rewind and I'm just gonna like replay the Staff cough, and then this time I was gonna have like Gigi and Fauna on the screen at the same time. Yay!
I was trying to figure out which staff member it was, but I don't know.
Oh, well, playback.
But the idea was like cool. I just didn't really get to be used properly, which I was a little bit sad about, but what can you do? I also had a button that I gave them both. So lately I've been playing around with Streamerbot decks, and if you don't know what that is, in Streamerbot you create actions. So if you look here in Streamerbot, right, Gigi'S cough would be an action. For something more action, the Gigi cut-in, this would be an action. It essentially just makes a mask visible. It brings in the movement of the Gigi cut-in, and you know, it just makes everything visible, makes everything happen. Then there's like an off button, and I just like turn that into one button. And yeah, so like these are like things I could give the control over to Gigi and Fauna. So if I show you, here is my Streamerbot deck for this event. It's very simple. It was 5 buttons maximum. Gigi Despair, once again, very sad tale. I can't wait to tell it later. But for now, we had Gigi's vote and Fauna's vote, and both of these were what they would click, and it would make them input a number, and then I would put, you know, 69 in, and then that would then show up on the stream. Throw tomato was another one I gave them. Now the whole point of the throw tomato is that if they click it, throw the tomato, as you can guess. For example, I'm going to throw a tomato here right now. I made it orange and I made it green for Fauna and Gigi.
I'm throwing a tomato.
This came from my own streams, actually. I have a theater show where I allow people to throw tomatoes at the stage, and I just reused it really quickly as an extra effect. The way that this works is I have a slideshow. If I go to the live baby, I believe it's in here, yes. I have a slideshow, and what it does is it has 2 images in it. It has one tomato that is, you know, whole, and then one tomato that is splattered. And I essentially set it so that the time is 800 milliseconds between slides, and then it does not loop. So basically, after 800 milliseconds, it will swap from full tomato to splattered tomato, and then it will stay like that on the screen. Of course, I now needed to add movement to it, so that's where filters come in. For the tomato, I had, here's Gigi's tomato. So the reset is where it is right now on the screen. This is where I want it to always start. Gigi Tomato hit is where I want it to land on the screen, which was going to be on the left side-ish. I put them both hit roughly in the middle of the screen because that's where most of the contestants were going to end up. And then there's drip. So the hit took 800 milliseconds. This is to line up with the amount of time it takes for the tomato to change. This means that this means that from this point where it starts, it is going to take 800 milliseconds to hit the middle of the screen. And then I wanted it to splat and drip down. Because I set the time of the slides to be 800 milliseconds as well, that means that when it hits the final point of the throw, it splats. They're both lined up, so that they both happen at the exact same time. And then, after that, it drips down. This is a 2000 millisecond, aka 2-second action, where I wanted the tomato to simply just then drip down the screen. I also have there's this nice feature in OBS and in, I guess it's not OBS, it's a plugin, in the move source plugin, where you can set a next move. So I didn't have to do an action for every single one of these things. For me, I can just click the hit button and make that visible, and then it throws it, and then it drips down automatically because the next move is set to automatically drip. And then at the end of the drip, it's set to automatically do the reset and go back to the beginning. So if I make it visible, and I make the hit thing, and goes, and then goes down. Very easy. It's splatted there because, you know, as soon as it becomes visible, that's when the slideshow countdown starts. So if I were to make this, if I were to hit the tomato button, there you go. Perfect. And I added a sound as well. So that's how the tomatoes worked. Again, they didn't really get used. I think Gigi threw one at Cecilia once, which was really funny, and I thought she would then keep using it, but I digress. So those were the main effects that I had going on for this scene. Again, I think with the tomatoes not really being used and Gigi and Fauna not really wanting to talk over the guests, it just meant that not a lot of the effects got used here, and it was mostly just we switch to this, someone comes on, they cough, and then we instantly go back to the judges table. And that was, I did not have very much for the judges table. If we go there, the main thing was, I had a little stinger I made with the logo. It wasn't very fancy, but what can you do? So with this, obviously, like I said, there was the ability to choose the number, so I can show you that now. If we go to Gigi's vote and we do, haha, 69 funny number. There you go. It's all good. It's all nice. Wow, amazing. I can't believe it. So for this scene, I just did not have many effects. Obviously, you could still throw the tomato, which is what I did that one time, but it doesn't look that great, you know, because it's not meant for them. It's not meant for this scene. We would just come back here and I'd be like, damn. So they would essentially just do the little thing of, we watch the coughing baby, we talk amongst each other, and then we put in a number and we're good to go. And that, you know, I didn't take the 2 seconds to think that this would be the scene that gets 900% of the attention. That's my bad. The only thing I had really to kind of make it alive was camera shots. So something I really value is kind of replicating TV a little bit. I think streaming is a wonderful medium and it has a lot of its own charm, but I do think something that it could be elevated by is trying to copy TV a little bit, just in terms of TV makes things feel alive. When I watch a stream and it stays on the same scene for like an hour straight, it's like you're still entertained because the people are entertaining, but visually it can get a little bit boring. So I like to play around with camera shots where possible. All right, so I have summoned my PNGs of Gigi and Fauna for the purposes of this demonstration. So I had a cut. It's meant to just be like, here's Gigi, here's Fauna. I can press like either of these buttons on my stream deck and it will just like flip between them. And then I have a reset button to go back to neutral. The way I do this is with, wouldn't you guess it, it's the move source. So for the zoom, it's pretty simple. I create a move source action. I set it to be the scene inside the scene, and then it's like a 10 ms is like the lowest I think you can go in terms of how quick it happens. And it just I just set the transform to be it zoomed in. So to explain it a little bit better, the reason that I have a live scene is so I can play around with stuff in this way. Essentially the move source plugin, it only works with groups and scenes. I don't know why it doesn't work with individual sources, but it does. it just works like that. And on top of that, it also, you know, to have a scene, to be able to drag a scene or use the move source on a scene means that it moves everything. It moves the whole scene. So I don't have to worry about each individual like source inside of the scene moving. I can just, you know, here, look, it's the judges. There you go. Oh, I can make it smaller or bigger, right? It's just nice. So the way that this works is I put the scene in there, so I have judges, right? And then I'm like, okay, I want it to zoom in on Gigi. I will now zoom in on Gigi, and like, let's say this is the shot that I want. That way, I go into filters, I set, you know, zoom on Gigi, and then I will go down here and I will click get transform. When I click get transform, it gets the exact place that it is at that moment, and then and it saves it. And then anytime I click the I button here, it moves it to it. So if I did it now, you know, it would take me to the one I had already set up for Gigi. And then the same thing is like, if I reset it, it takes me to this one. All right. So that's just like really simple way to do things. And then I set these in Streamerbot to buttons. I create an action for it. I want to do a judges zoom Gigi. Very, very simple action. Right? It literally has one sub action in it, which is to, you know, flick the filter on here. And then I have one of that for Fauna, and then I have a reset one, and then I put those onto my stream deck, and that's easy. And so I liked and disliked the zoom in feature. The reason I disliked it was because we used a green screen, except it was a purple screen because Fauna is green. And it meant that you could kind of tell the quality wasn't that great. We're using video, and I used that to put them in the places that they needed to be, and I put the green screen filter on, and yeah, it kind of looked terrible. Especially when I zoomed in. Like, I zoom in on the you know, this is what I'm practicing on. This is what I'm building it on. I'm like, oh, this looks great. What a beautiful little PNG. Beautiful. And then the real thing happens, and it's like her Ahoge is just disappearing into the nether regions of hell, and the colors are just, oh my god, you can see the purple around her, and it's so jagged and low quality. She's like 140p. You guys literally saw someone say that at one point on this in the chat. They were just like, 140p Fauna. I'm like, I know, but that's also why I really liked it. It was really funny. It was really fucking funny. It looked so bad that it became funny. You know, like, Gigi's asking me for scuff. Here was her scuff. I guess the final thing that I also had, this was for both scenes. It was the clapping. This was like done really, like, you know, the day of the event. I was like, Vani, please, can you draw a sapling and a Grem clapping for me? Please, 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 please. I want it so bad. Because I was gonna add sound effects anyway. Like, I wanted to have a clapping. I wanted to have a booing. I think I also wanted to have something else, but I don't remember what it is anymore. And I also forgot on the day of because I didn't put it in, and then after the show was over I was like, oh yeah, that sound effect I wanted to put in, oh, it would be so good, and I forgot. Oh yeah, it's a laugh track. I really wanted like a Friends level laugh track, just throw in there whenever they made a joke. God, it would have been so good. Oh my god, I'm so mad I forgot. That was something I wanted to do. Anyway, the clapping 100%, and I thought it would be really nice if there was a visual indicator because it's like a crowd. You want to give a little bit of a crowd. So I was like, please, clapping. There they go. Love it. Big fan. And I think that was really cute. I think people really like that. So I'm really happy that we added it in. Thank you, Vani, for that last minute addition. That was it. So I guess I wish I had added more things to this. I did make a couple of skits, which I'll talk about now. Essentially, I posted a tweet the day before we went live, and because people knew that I was working on this because someone had made Gigi had put up the stream waiting room, and she had put me in the credits underneath it, so I was free to talk about it. I asked for permission too. I'm a good girl, okay? So I posted a tweet saying like, oh, I received a very, urgent email begging me to work on this, very high tier production. So yes, naturally I will be working on the Coughing Baby show. I will be producing it tomorrow. And I went to bed and that tweet blew up. Oh my freaking God. Like, I just want to say the day before this show happened, I had like not that many things going on. All right. I had not that many things going on. I woke up, my tweet had like gone massive. Everyone was like fucking shitting their pants with excitement. I was like, wait, why is this happening? Why are people so happy? What? What's going on? And like there was a Reddit thread saying like the thumbnail of this stream is really funny. And then like the top comment was someone saying, yeah, Gigi got rare for it as well. That means it's gonna be really good. I was like, oh my God, oh no, they expect stuff. Oh no, they expect something from this show now. Oh God, I'm panicking. Oh, so I like got up from bed. I was like, I have to make it better. I have to make it better. I got in the shower and like a really big thing. And then that's when I came out and I started making like jokes and memes and stuff and like the ending. So the three main things I added on the day of show, like leading up to the show starting, was the tomato throw. I did that on the day of. The ending, like the holiday for the winner, I created that the day of. And I also created the Gigi spiraling abyss meme. Now, it's really stupid. So spiraling abyss Gigi was a bit that I made because I thought it'd be really funny to have kind of like a button that Gigi or Fauna could press and they would be able to create like a meme out of it, essentially. For Fauna, I was kind of imagining like she hits it and she somehow like skips through a meadow of flowers or something, or like some really like cute kawaii like happy thing happens. And then also like maybe if I had time I would add a kind of like evil despair one for her where it kind of like zooms in on her and it's like, a scream plays in the distance or something. It's kind of like whatever mood Fauna was in, she could envision that visually on the stream and it would be funny and it would be like a little bit of extra production. I would be really happy. For Gigi, I kind of wanted to do the same, but I went like a little bit higher production value first. So I created the Spiraling Abyss Gigi, and what it does is it plays, it cuts the music. So there's like this urban jazz background music piece that I had playing the whole time that I got off of Audio Stock. And it would instantly mute that. It would cut from whatever we were looking at to this like, pitch black scene. And then Gigi would be at the forefront, quite large, and then she would slowly shrink and get smaller. And as she did, all of these pictures would appear on the screen of like despairing Gigi. And I didn't want to steal fan art or anything, so I went through her Twitter back to the start when she debuted, and she was drawing like these really high quality pictures every day. Rest in peace to those. I don't know what the fuck's going on her Twitter nowadays. Gigi, get your shit together. Like, come on. But I went back to her old art and I was saving those. So like I found this hypnotic spiral video to play, and then I just had like, this picture of Gigi eating a chitini for some reason, or like Gigi sleeping with depression or something. And this really nice feature that OBS has is you can set transitions to pictures or any source really. If you look here, I go to show transition, I can set it to fade of 1,000 milliseconds. So whenever I show this source, it can fade in. And you can do the same with the hide. But here it was mostly important for the show. And it just means that instead of, instantly appearing, I click it and it fades in. And that's really nice because it means I don't have to do it a different way. For a very long time, I used to do this absurd thing. I'm going to show you the most absurd fucking thing I ever done in my entire life. Alright. So yeah, this is what I used to do to fade something out. And it was the most overcomplicated thing I've ever seen in my life. I would essentially go onto the image, go to filters, add a color correction, right? Then I would go and I would do a move value from the plugin, the move plugin, right? And then I would have to select color correction here under filter. I would go here, I would select opacity, set the value to 1. Then duplicate that. Actually, no, sorry. Then I would set the thing to be like, if I want it to be a 1,000 second delay, or not delay, if I want it to be a 1 second fade, then I would put 1,000 millisecond here. Then I would duplicate that. This would be my number. This would be my fully visible. This would be my non-visible. So I would then set this to 0. And then the way that this works is now, if I click this, it should fade out over 1 second and disappear. And then if I click this one, it comes back, right? So I had to add 3 filters anytime I wanted something to fade out. It was just, I could not believe my eyes, ears, brain, and in the world when I found out that all you had to do instead of this stupidly complicated method was just right click it and just change it to this. That's not fair. It's not fair. So yeah. It meant that when I made this, I essentially just had this happen. This was the string of actions to make this. It hides the music, which stops the music from playing. It delays a little bit for the, I don't know for what reason. It's too complicated again too. There was a specific issue I had that was resolved by a 700 millisecond delay here. It was very stupid. Then the Abyss Gigi music plays, which is like this recorder song of like a classical piece of music, which was also used in Catherine, which I found out when people were quite excited when I posted it on Twitter. Then I basically just make every asset kind of appear. Like I made, so Gigi is on here. Her model is not currently there because, you know, I don't have the video anymore. But what it would do is I had it so it was big. It was like big. You can kind of see the box here of the size. This is where her model would be in this box, right? And you can see it just gets smaller and smaller and smaller over the course of 11 seconds. So basically, I had this, the same thing I did earlier. I took this is the beginning. This is like the big Gigi, this one here, the top. And then I made it, so the next move was spiraling Gigi end. And this was like 10 milliseconds long. So essentially, as soon as I made this visible, it would instantly start the movement. So that's how I did that. Then Grem Train is like this Grem that appears and just goes across the middle of the screen. So all of these things together in action looked like this. So it was meant to be really funny. It was meant to be that we would just like be on this screen and they would be yapping, and my idea in my head, like I prepped Gigi beforehand. I was like, Gigi, I have made this for you. I want you to use it somehow. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna use it somehow. She was meant to like, I in my head, I had it so that she would be rambling about something and just losing her head about a random topic, or she would be really sad because like, I don't know, maybe one of her favorite contestants was losing her, I don't know. Anything. Maybe she saw a performance so terrible that she had to go into the abyss. But it was meant to be that she could hit this button on the Streamerbot deck and then it would just do it. Like if I hit the button myself, you know, they're like yap 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 yap, despair. And it looks great. It looks so good. You know, and the main thing is that the effect was live. So there was no pre-recorded video of Gigi doing anything. She could live improv anything as she becomes small. Yeah. But she ended up not using it. I think it was because we misjudged the timing a little bit and we didn't want to do the production over Ina's live. So I think it just kind of slipped the mind. So no hard feelings. I used it for a Twitter post, so I'm happy it got shown anyway. It was just really funny to me. I watched it like 20 times before the show went live laughing at it. I just thought it was hilarious. It was a combination of the recorder and the little Grem Train going across the screen. Speaking of the Grem Train, the way that I did that was a move plugin, and also if I show it, the reason it's moving is because of a filter. Is that on here? Yes. So I use a shake filter. There's like this shader filter plugin you can get for OBS, and I love shake. I found out, so I usually use shake just to simulate a little bit of movement. Essentially, you add like pixels up here, and then you remove the random scale and it does like a really nice smooth movement. So if I were to add random scale, suddenly it's like, you know, shaking, right? I get rid of that, and usually what I do is this one. I just add a little bit of pixels to the top, and then it will just go up and down. And that's great. I love that motion. It's an amazing motion. It makes my productions look really freaking nice because it's just a way to go from point A to B, you know? Like, oh, great, fantastic, love it. But once I was trying to figure out if I could make it move left and right whilst also going up and down at the same time. So I added like, you know, 10 to the left to see if that was possible. To my knowledge, it's not, but what it did do is it created this cute little like train motion, like choo choo, you know. I've used that a couple times on my productions as well. For some reason, I don't think it works on the other side. Like if I added 10 to the right, yeah, it doesn't, it's so weird. It doesn't do the motion but backwards. It only does the motion if I do pixels on top and pixels on left. I don't know why. Otherwise, it actually just adds pixel. It's so weird. So weird. I don't get it. If I added like 80 here, yeah, like I don't know what the hell is up with this, but that's just how that works. So weird. Whee! Anyway, I digress. So that's the way that I made it do this little motion, and then I have the movement thing where I set the grem. This is where it starts here on the right. And then when I press play via making Grem Train 0 visible, it then, like we've done before, next move, Grem Train ends, and then it starts doing this, which lasts for 8 seconds, and just moves it to this point here. So anytime, there it goes, woo! Very simple stuff. This was very quick to make, all things considered. So that was my beautiful Grem Train. One last very quick thing I just wanted to talk about. Very quick. Something I really value when I create projects, and I think other people, if they do want to make stuff like this, should keep in mind, is the ability to reset. So like every time Fauna and Gigi put their little numbers on their screens, I wanted to have it so that we could go to the stage, right? And then the performance happens, the next one happens, and then when it comes back, I wanted the things to be clean. Because if it comes back, it becomes confusing for the viewer, right? It's like, oh, there's a 69 there. Like, did they just do that for the person that just... Like, if you're a viewer and you come in late, maybe you missed the performance. Like, you don't know what's going on. And just in general, I think it's, like, nice to be able to have it cleanly wiped. So I included that in the sub-actions. Anytime I went back to the judges table, I made it so that it cleared the text. Like, I just put a little OBS set GDI text here, and then I chose the text box that I wanted it to reset, and then I included nothing in the space. But for example, when they were actually doing their numbers, the way that worked was, I find it, where is it? Oh, here. Whereas here, the text is a variable which is created in Streamerbot deck. Because in Streamerbot deck, you can create a button that requires an input, and you can set that input to only be numbers, which is what I did. And essentially, I was able to put in the information there, like this is the variable that I want it to be when it's input, and then I put that here, and then that is, it goes from the website into Streamerbot, and then from Streamerbot to OBS. A little quick 1-2. I also had a little sound play whenever they did this. I actually want to say really quick, I figured out that you can just add sounds to Streamerbot. Like, you can just do like a play sound, and then you choose a file, and then it just plays it, and you can even adjust the volume here on how loud you want it to be. And you can even make it so that the sound has to finish playing before it starts the next action as well, which is like really nice. It's actually just super elite and really good. So what I was doing for the longest time is I would just have a sound effects folder, and then I would just like, make it visible when I wanted the audio to play. And then I would, and like the most annoying thing possible, like it's the most annoying process in the world, because I would just play the audio But when you add audio to OBS, it is automatically muted. When it comes in, it is muted, as in it is playing in OBS and is playing to the stream, and whoever is watching, or if you record it, is playing to that. But to me, it is muted. I can't hear it. For me to change that, I have to go to VOD's audio properties, and I have to set the audio monitoring to monitor and output. That way, it is hearable by you in the stream, and it is hearable by me as well. So anytime I would add a sound effect and I wanted it to be heard, I had to add it in. I had to go into VOD's audio properties. I had to set the monitoring to be able for me to hear it. And then I had to adjust the volume in here. And then whenever I wanted it to play in here, I would have to make that source visible, delay it for however long the sound is, and then hide it again. That is also so freaking annoying. Like, oh my god. And I figured out that all I could do was just play a sound, and it's all here. It's all nicely done in Streamerbot. Oh my god. So anyway, so yes, very sad to find out about the Streamerbot allowing audio thing. There was a reason why I did it in OBS for this one. It's because I'm stupid, and it's a whole long story I don't want to get into. Anyway, the point is, in the future, all my projects will be done with music and audio from Streamerbot. That's just the way it is. It's better. I'm stupid. Gigi go next, end. Yes. So now, after all of my yapping, the thing you've been waiting for, it's Northern Lion. I understand. The people want to know what happened, how'd it happen, how'd it go, what the hell? I saw a couple people in the comments of the video saying stuff like, oh, I can't believe Gigi made an entire like shitpost just to deliver a video of Northern Lion to Fauna. Nope, she was gonna do the shitpost no matter what. That's, I'm dispelling the myth. It is a very cute notion, though. I mean, she wanted to do the show, and we were just talking about the show and what we could do for it. And Gigi brought up the idea to me. She said, like, I think it would be really cool if we could get Northern Lion. And there's like a little bit of mini lore. Essentially, I was a part of, I don't really know if this is related to anything, but like, there was a Deadlock charity tournament I was a part of. And at that time, I was really invested in like, hey, maybe we could get like, this is a random idea, but like Northern Lion's playing a lot of Deadlock right now, and Fauna plays like Dota. She likes Valve games, like, I guess. Like, I was like, maybe I could make this collab happen. I don't know, like, it's charity, seems like a good idea. So I essentially kind of reached out to both parties. I won't get into the details of it. Essentially, like, or at least with the Northern Lion, I asked the librarian. And I know that the librarian tried to also help me make it happen then. But like, the end note of this story is that it didn't end up happening. Like, people were busy, people were like unavailable. It was also very last minute that I started reaching out about it. So like, there was just nowhere near enough heads up for this to possibly have occurred. But the point is, I tried. And the point is, we maybe were 5% close. We could have had it maybe in the 5% world, maybe. So Gigi was like, oh man, it would be cool if we could get Northern Lion to do this. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna try. And this time it seems actually doable. Like, no one has to like, we don't have to organize time schedules. We don't, like, people, we wanted a video. We wanted a video. I was so sure. I was like, I'm gonna get this. I swear on God, I'm gonna get this. And we talked about what we wanted from it. At first, Gigi was like, maybe he could just be like coughing, it'd be really funny. And then she was like, actually, what if we get him to just say this? And she just drops this script in my DMs, and it just says like, hey, Serious Fauna, this is from Hololive Promise, this is Northern Lion, and you're awesome. And then like an action note of just like stare at the camera for 6 seconds. so I'm like, all right, yeah, that seems funny. So I send a message to the librarian. I'm like, hey man, I know the other thing fell through, but like, Fauna's graduating soon now, so like maybe we can make this happen. We're running this show, here's the details. Would it be possible to get a video of Northern Lion either coughing like a baby or saying this script, and I sent the info, and he was just like, oh yeah, like I can try and poke about it. And he got back to me and essentially kind of said like, it's kind of hard. The best bet I would have is messaging Kate, aka Lovely Momo, and asking her. And I said like, oh, like how do I do that? How do I get her? And he said like, I think she has open DMs on Discord, so just go through that. So I joined I've been a subscriber of Northern Lion for like 5 months now or something like that. So I just joined the Discord through my Twitch subscription, and she's like at the top of the admin list. So I was like, yay, I sent a DM. I was like, hello, I am Rhea, and I am I am representing Hololive streamers on doing the I'm producing the I don't remember what I said. I think I was just like, I'm producing this event for Hololive streamers. We were wondering if Northern Line would be interested in partaking. I sent the information. It would be very cool. Understandable if you guys are busy. Absolutely don't worry about it. Thank you very much for your time. And she was like, yeah, I'll ask. And I was like, oh. I was like, oh my god. Is it happening? Are we getting it? I'm so excited. And yeah, a couple days later, she just like dropped the video in my inbox. I was like, thank you so freaking much. Oh my god, like thank you. This is so appreciated. Like this is gonna mean so much to Fauna. Like I was so happy. I was so freaking happy. I took that video right to the work Discord, and I was like, guys, I got the goods! Yay! Like everyone in there is celebrating. Like Fauna's not part of it. It was a complete surprise for her. We're like super freaking happy out the wazoo that this happened. Everyone's really excited about it. We instantly just like start plotting like, how are we gonna reveal it? What's the idea? What are we gonna do? Blah blah blah. Gigi kind of solidified how she wanted it to happen. Like she wanted it to be like you know, we have one last contestant type thing kind of at the end. We talked about the order of things, like whether we'd like if the credits would show and then we'd do it, or if something else would happen and then we'd do it, blah blah blah. And I was the one that came up with the idea of the like old school TV on wheels idea. I messaged our artist Bonnie. I was like, Bonnie, can you please draw me this TV? I want it to roll out. I want to like cut the music and have it like squeak and be really obnoxious. And then yeah, I was like, oh my god, please. So I came up with that stuff. I was so happy with it. Like genuinely, like sometimes I have a lot lacking in my bits and like execution, and I wish something could have been a little bit better or a little bit different. But the way that was handled, it was like, for me, peak. Like Gigi set it up really well live. You know, it came out when the TV like flickered on. Like I wanted that to be a moment of reaction, and like Fauna did this like really adorable like gasp. I was like, oh god, I was so happy. I was so happy with how it came out. And then of course there's the live Fauna reaction. So like this is oh god, I did it again. There you go. There's the live Fauna reaction. And it was meant to, it basically takes the Fauna reaction cut and just slaps it on the live Fauna reaction. You know, I took the meme, I made the little thing at the top, just, you know, made it a little scene, and then in the live thing, it's essentially, it's like hiding up here. It's over here. And then I used a filter, live Fauna reaction on screen. It's just like a 300 millisecond like come in. It's a move filter, and it means that when I click the filter to come in, it just like slides it on. And that was a part of in here in the Streamerbot. Like it's kind of all scripted. I have like, it's a very long thing here. The music stops. There's a delay of 2 seconds. The squeaking wheels starts playing. The TV moves on screen, another move source filter. 8 seconds later, the squeaking stops. The TV glitches. After 500 milliseconds, the still image of Northern Line appears on it. It holds it for another 500 milliseconds. And then it goes... oh yeah, it's glitching at this point, then the glitching stops. And then there's a whole 1.5 seconds of just like, that's the moment for the reaction. And then the actual video plays. Like I just had the video in the scene, and I had that just play. And then as it plays, that's when I wanted... I had to hide, funnily enough, I had to hide the stage scene because otherwise it was like being intensive on my graphics card, because it would have the video of him, it would have a scene of like the live fauna reaction come in on the screen as well, which had, you know, her model moving inside of it, which is another like browser source. So and then it would have the whole stage behind it with all of these like high intensive videos playing that like with transparency, and it was like my PC was like so I was like, okay, so I had to hide that. And then yeah, a second passes, we bring in live fauna reaction, and then yeah, it just kind of plays out, and then like yeah, the stage comes back visible, the video ends, I hide everything, I reset it, which means that like I talked about the power of resetting, it just means that I can keep playing, I can do this over and over again, which allows me to test it over and over again pre being live to make sure it works, and then the music comes back on, it's all good. So it was not very complicated overall, really. So yeah, overall, it was really simple. It's just the TV moves in, the like comes to a stop. This is all move plugin. The glitch is just a glitch filter from the plugins that I had. This is just a scene moving onto the screen. Blah blah blah. He's staring at the screen. It was amazing. Super happy about that. It's just things moving. It's literally just a move source filter. That's it. And then I had another button for him to like slide off the screen. Goodbye. Goodbye, Northern Lion. It's just stuff moving on screen, moving off screen, moving on screen, moving off screen. It's honestly not that complicated. It's mostly just like putting it together in a string in Streamerbot, where you just have to set up like how stuff happens. It's just like, you know, I have the, you know, I have my TV coming in here as a move source. As you can see, it's like 6.5k milliseconds of where I want them to go, blah blah blah. Honestly, like, simple, effective. I hope it was good. Fauna's reaction was amazing. I'm really happy we got it. Really happy we could put it together the way it did, and the chat loved it too. I also edited this together, which I forgot to show when Gigi was talking about the potential winner. But yeah, the Northern Lion the Northern Lion, man, I use that stock image website that everyone uses for like their TikToks and stuff. It's like VTubers love this. I looked up lion, I took his face from the video that he submitted, and I like photoshopped it in. I made this like 2 seconds before the stream went live because I wanted a video, I wanted a picture of all the contestants, and then we would choose the winner. Like my original idea was to have a spotlight and then shine it on the actual winner, but it ended up not happening. I didn't even have a button for this ready, actually. I just like which meant that when it disappeared, it literally just like cut out. So it fades in kind of nicely and then cuts out, and like Gigi's like ready to say the winner, and I'm just like fading that, I'm like cutting that out weirdly. It's like super abrupt on the stream. I remember I was just like, whoopsie. But I needed everyone to see the lion, so like we were ready to say the winner, and I had to show this little freak in the corner, man. So I had to put it on. And I know Gigi got caught off guard. She's like, oh yeah, here's our contestant. I was like, yep, my bad. I had to show him. It was too good not to show. So yeah, I threw that together. And then yeah, the winner was announced. We had Liz and Zeta both win. I had Gigi in my messages during this saying like, can we have 2 winners? Is that possible? Can we show them together? I was like 2 winners is fine. But like I said Liz first. And I think Gigi thought I could have 2 people show up in the final thing together, which was at the same time, which was not the case. It's why they ended up going on separate holidays together. Sorry, just separate holidays in general. So I do really want to talk about this because this was actually, whilst my favorite thing was the Northern Line bit, this was the thing I was most proud of creating. Essentially, after everyone was like hyping up my involvement, I really wanted to make something hype. You know, I wanted to try and do something technical, something that makes like a really cool thing happen. So I wanted an ending. I wanted to do a holiday. I wanted to give like a winner's package, so whoever won would have a way of like celebrating. And it started as a small idea where it was like, okay, well, I can just kind of take the PNG of everyone and maybe have them like kind of jump up and down or something with the trophy. I don't know. It started as that, and I was like, yeah, but what if it was a cinematic montage? Ooh, maybe. So what I did was I created a ending montage entirely in OBS using Streamerbot to kind of move everything along, and I could change the winner to be literally anyone. And the way that I did this was that, you know, when we decided the winner via the scores, I went to full body PNG and then I chose the winner in here. So I could make it anyone. I could make it Rowra, I could make it Kiara, I could make it Shiori, I could make it anyone. And all I had to do was just make that PNG visible. And I spent a lot of time, like I essentially layered all these models on top of each other so that the heads were roughly in the same place. And then I had all of these extra assets of the different stuff. So like, you know, the sky is here from the flying. The back of the plane is here. The trophy in the plane is here. The like actual plane itself was like up here. Oh no, that's the different plane. Here's the flying plane, which I'm using a shake filter again to make it go up and down. If I show you, whoops, it's the wrong one. If I show you on the filter, here's the shake filter. I've made extra pixels 5 so that it just bobs up and down nicely. Remove the random scale, and there you go, easy peasy. You know, and then as you can see, like I put the trophy here, and that's also shaking and going up and down to simulate the movement alongside it. It looks very silly, but like I don't care, you know. It's like cute, it's fun, it's cute, it looks fine in the final product, and that's all that matters. So the sequence was, you know, they get on the plane, they fly, blah blah blah. Essentially I used a lot of move filters again. I don't know why I'm using studio mode here, it's weird. I built everything inside this scene. So for scene 1, I took a plane picture. It's here, and it's... Yeah, there you go. So I took this plane photo off of a stock website that I pay for, and then I cut. So that's why you have this here at the front, so that when someone walks inside of it, they would become able to be in the scene. So for the purposes of this whole thing, I will use Liz, because she was my dummy the entire time. I used her for everything as I built it out. So like her idea was that she was meant to be here, and then she was meant to like walk up the thing. So what I did was I added a shake filter, which made her look like she was bobbing up and down, like she was walking, and then I had her move from here to here. You know, she's about to go in the plane. Yay! Woo! And what this looked like, you know, I'm like testing it. I'm using this filters. I need the reset, or sorry, this is where she gets the trophy, I think. The plane spot 1, and then, you know, like I've showed you with all these others, I use like a next move. I use next to move plane spot 2 so that I can set the reset, and then, oh my god, she can just do this. And it just sets her up. It just sends her up. And with the shake filter, it looks like she's kind of walking up. I think I had the trophy appear as well. Yeah, I added the trophy so that it would appear after they received their award, and then it would follow them for everything. And that way you just have... Look at me going on a trip with my trophy. Yay! There you go. Scene 1 done. Then next, I put her in the plane. All right, so next was this scene. Essentially, I cut a plane out. As you can see, it's a beautiful plane. Originally, I was gonna have the plane be the one moving, but because it had so many assets, it just became easier. I didn't want to make an extra scene, so in the end, I just had the background moving instead. But yeah, I created a trophy. which goes in the window and bobs up and down. The plane bobs up and down. There's like a little background thing here so that, you know, there's a background. You don't just see the sky. Liz was going in here. She was still shaking. So she's just going up and down. I was hoping the movements would match between her and the plane, but it ended up being a little off time. But, you know, whatever. Who cares? And then I used a move filter again for the background. The sky just started at one point, and then there you go. It just moves, and then it... Oh, look, we're moving, we're traveling, we're flying. Yay! Yippee! Woohoo! So that was how that one was done. It was literally just sky from point 1 to A using a move source. Literally, as soon as I make this visible, it... Like I've 100 million times. Next move, sky point 2. It instantly does this one. 7 seconds long. It just travels and then it stops and we're done. Liz and the trophy are moving. I think I had the model, the PNG set up so that the trophy would be hidden, and then this one would be showing, and it was all pog. And then that's done. And we get rid of the plane, and then the next one is the beach. So oh yeah, another thing to say is that the move sources, essentially, like I have a thing here for the PNGs. If you remember earlier in the video, I told you that the effect for move plugin only can be used on groups and on scenes. So I was applying a move filter to the group of all of the PNGs anytime I wanted it to move. So I had one set up for each, like, quote-unquote scene of this ending victory. So let me just remove the shake filter real quick because I no longer need that. It meant that, like, you know, for the scene 1, I'm clicking like plane spot 1, and then she's traveling up the thing. And then I click sky point 1, and then it takes her, like, into the plane. Sorry, that's the actual plane. That's my bad. Winner on plane. Yes, I had that, and it's like 10 ms. Again, that's like the shortest it can go. And it's meant to basically just move her into position for the plane. And then I have the next scene, which is like a beach scene, and it's 2, because I did the same thing that I did with the opening one, where I had like this front area so that they could essentially lie on the lounger and their model wouldn't just be like flipping through the thing or look really bad. And then I drag this group around and I like rotate it and I make it bigger and I'm like, I want it here, and then I set that here in the thing. I click hit transform when I'm happy with it, and what that ends up looking like was like this, you know. So I'm like, excellent. So now, you know, if I want her on the plane, I click that, and now she's in the plane. She's ready in the plane. I want her on the beach. I click this. Now she's lying on the beach exactly where I want her. And if I show you right now, like, you know, I can have anyone for this. If I go to, oh, sorry, don't need to do that. And now I can show you that it can be anyone. I can not have Liz. I can have Mokoko. You know, and it's like, obviously it looks silly, it's meant to be kind of scuffed, but like I can have anyone do this. I can have anyone that I want be lying on this beach with the trophy, you know? Put Liz back. So after this, I wanted to have a little bit of movement where I could in every scene. So the plane at the beginning, it has the winner walking up the stairs to the plane. The second one has the plane going up and down and the background moving and flying. This one, I was like either thinking of trying to animate the ocean, which was stupid, or I was like, I can just add like a funny little joke in. So I got a beach ball, and that's over here. So this beach ball operates on a rotate filter. I use the shader plugin again, a shader filter plugin, and I use rotating source shader, and very simple. Literally just like adjusted this, set the spin speed. It rotates. It's very easy. It's very simple, very normal. And then it just became, wouldn't you know it, it was move filter again. Essentially, like, I have a beach ball 0.0, and that's like over here. And then a beach ball point hit, which is like the head area of whoever the winner is. And then a beach ball point end, which is over here. And the way that this works and looks is if I click it now, I can just show you. Boing, right? Boing. The ball is rotating with the rotating filter, so it looks cute. It hits and then flies off. All of these things are done with a little bit of intent. So like the hit is 600 milliseconds, but the end is 700 milliseconds. The reason why I did this was to have a feeling of like motion. You know, when the ball hits, it's meant to lose a little bit of steam, right? If you're gonna throw a ball at someone and it hits their face, it's not gonna bounce off their face with the same velocity that you threw it because it hit resistance. So I make it a little bit slower to leave so it looks like it hits Liz and then slows down. And I like how that looks. Also, they have a little bit of curve on them. So as you can see here in the transform box, when it hits, it has curve. This is so that, you know, if you watch it, it looks like it's kind of curving in and down. Because if I didn't have that, it would just hit in a straight line. It would look kind of weird. Like if I just copy this and then just move it down to 0 real quick, you can see what I mean. I hit the wrong ones, my bad. Do you see that? Looks kind of dog shit. Just like comes in from the right side really weirdly. Doesn't look natural at all. I think the only way this would look natural is if I made it like 100 ms and it was as if it was, you know, like someone really fucking went to town off screen. Maybe 200 is better. It just looks dumb. Maybe 300? I don't know. Maybe let me try 300. It's better, right? Like you could imagine maybe that someone threw this off screen, but I'd say the little curve just looks a little bit nicer. I add it all back and then I do it and it's like cute. It's just like a little bit more fun. You can, but that's the nice thing about these plugins is you can adjust the settings however you want to achieve the effect that you're looking for. Obviously not everything is doable, but a lot of things are pretty damn doable, so it's fun and it's cool and it's nice. So yeah, I just had them follow through with the next moves to like keep, you know, bouncing, and I can just hit this beach ball point and it just kind of does the whole thing for me. Beach ball end had curve as well. I think they both had the same amount of curve, but like just this one's coming from further away, traveling further, and then this one's traveling not as far. This is nice. Cute little effect. Pretty happy with how it looked. The final one was the date. The date wasn't that interesting. If I get rid of everything. The date, I had this in the front. Again, I cut it again so that they would be looking like they're behind the table eating. I had these two fires. So essentially, like, let me show you this. So this is the still image. I kind of didn't like that it had no movement, and I didn't really know how to add movement to it. I threw the proper big trophy here as the date, smiling, very cute. The fire on the candles was a little, you know, I was like, maybe I can just add to that. I said, like, really what I did was I had a picture of, I took a stock image of like a meteor, I think. It was a meteor. It was a 3D meteor. You could adjust the angle, the rotation, and then just take the still image you wanted. That's what I did. And then I added a filter to it. I used a shader filter called Ripple. With these settings, I just played around with it until it was just, you know, flickering back and forth like this. And that was good enough. I mean, I don't think anyone gave a shit. I don't think anyone cared at all. I don't think anyone fucking cared. But I cared. I liked it. And then, obviously, Liz is here. I hid her trophy at this point for the scene, and then I used this date, and it just moved her like this. Great. You can see her. She's behind the table. Looks good. And then, yeah, they have their date, and then all is nice and fine in the world. And then when they're done, you know, it hides everything. And then we're kind of done at that point. I think the thing was over. To show you guys this here in Streamerbot, it's here. This is what it looks like in Streamerbot. It's very long. Everything I kind of just told you, this is how it looks as actions. You know, at the beginning, it brings the winner on screen. It like slides them on the screen from the left, from off screen, on screen. It shows you they get the trophy. The trophy appears here. There's a clapping. You can make other actions happen in your sub actions. So I had the action for the clapping where the grem and the sapling appear, and I made that happen. It waits 5 seconds, and then the whole kind of sequence begins. You know, it shows the planes for that scene. I didn't organize my sources very well, I will say that much. Like having like date 2, beach 1, beach 2, plane 2.png, it was a mess. But yeah, so it makes all the first plane stuff arrives. It makes the PNG shake, you know, for the walking effect. It activates the movement filter so that she starts walking. Then after, you know, I've calculated how long everything needs to take already, right? For the walking, I can see here that for her to move from plane spot 1 to 2, it takes 3,000 milliseconds, aka 3 seconds, which means I need a 3,000 second delay here before it starts doing the next thing. So now we want the plane to be flying. So that's when I make, you know, plane flying stuff visible. I want the trophy to appear. I want the other trophy to disappear or not, or whatever. I want the old plane stuff to be hidden. I need the move, like the move filters I showed you to have my PNG move. I have that become visible, right? Winner on plane visible. So then the PNG group moves to where it needs to be for the next scene. This happens for 7,000 milliseconds because that's how long it took for the sky to go from one end of to the other, which I, you know, predetermined. Then I go to the beach. You know, I hide all the plane stuff. I make the beach stuff visible. I let them chill on it for a couple seconds, then I bring in the beach ball. You know, I've chained it all together in OBS already, so I only need this one action to become visible to start it. And I need it to become visible as well. I hide everything that's not currently being used, otherwise it overloads my OBS, so I've got to be very vigilant about hiding sources as soon as they're finished being used. Then there's date night, and blah blah blah. And it's just like the same kind of thing. It's like I don't need to explain every time I do this stuff, because I'm essentially just reusing the same ideas. I use the move plugins, I hide things, I show things, blah blah blah. The shake plugin, I use that, I hide it. I you know, if I don't need it, I hide it, so on. I really wanted to include them going to bed, like in a bed together, you know, like a implied sex scene with a trophy, but I decided to scrap it. So A, I kind of ran out of time, B, I just thought it was nicer to end it on a nice day. Keep it PG, you know, it's a good coughing baby program, don't need anything lewd. And then it ends it by just like having it clap again, and the winner like leaves with their trophy and stuff. So like, you know, here I can literally show you how malleable this thing is, right? Let's say Liz didn't win, let's say Kiara won. Congratulations. So now I click the button for winner, and wow, she comes in on the screen, like, you know, she gets given a trophy, the clapping happens, yippee. Now she's gonna go, oh look, she's getting on the plane. Wow, now she's flying in the plane. Wow, she's still shaking. Then the shaking ends, and we're gonna be on the beach, and we're happy, and oh, here comes the ball. And it's all timed. It's all super timed. If you ever saw anything flickering, it's because it's all done live in OBS. And like the sources are not loading fast enough. That's like the only limitation that makes this look a little bit scuffed. It's like, the way I did this live was with studio mode. So with studio mode, it just means that whenever they decided the winner, I could just do this. I could go to full body PNG, I could change it. You know, like, oh my god, congratulations, Northern Lion, you won. Or whoever. And then I would just make it visible, and then end studio mode, and now when I press it again, oh my god, can you believe it? Northern Lion won! Congratulations! Wow! Look, he's going on vacation, good for him. There was 3 models that I set up that it looked extremely scuffed with. It was Staff, Northern Lion, and Ina. Just because of like how their models were like shaped. Yeah, like, you know, he's not sitting at his table, he's just like aggressively approaching the camera. I don't know what's going on there, but like, that's fun, you know? I enjoy that. That's really funny to me. So that's how we, yeah, so I was able to give Liz and Zeta the win. None of this was pre-recorded. I didn't have to record 800 videos and set them all up with different buttons. I had one button that did the whole thing, and I could just swap in the PNG at will, and it was great. And I was super proud of it. I was really happy, and good for me. Clap, clap. And that's it, honestly. The show was not overly complicated. It was pretty easy to put together. I'm very familiar at this point with Streamerbot, so all of this was very easy to do. This is what my stream deck looked like in the end. I had 2 buttons here. Yeah, so I had these 2 buttons. Go to stage, go to judges. Doing this would just play the stinger. It would just play a video of a stinger, and then like after, you know, a second when the stinger's covering the screen, it would just switch this whatever scene I needed to be seen. I had the Gigi'S spiral effect in case I ever wanted to play it. I was never gonna hit it. But it was still there, mostly so I could test it. Ending the stream, I don't remember what this did. I think it just made a screen go black and like fade in and say like, thanks for watching. I had the clapping button so I could clap whenever. The clapping, one last note on that actually, I wasn't sure whether we wanted to clap for every contestant or not. So some people did not get claps, and I feel bad because I think I decided after a few contestants that I wanted to clap for everyone, bar like the worst of the worst, like the people that coughed instead of not coughed, the people that sneezed instead of coughing, aka Ina. You know, like she didn't do the assignment, right? And that's funny. It is really funny, but it's like maybe I shouldn't clap for that, just to kind of like hammer in like, what the hell, Ina, you didn't do the thing. But then I felt bad for like early on, where it's like, okay, well, we didn't clap for someone here maybe, and everyone deserved to be clapped. I don't know if I clapped for Mokoko, for example. I'm sorry, Mokoko, forgive me. But yeah, I think for the most part we clapped for everyone, or we clapped for like if something happened on the judges panel and stuff like that. I had tomatoes I could control, like I said. Then we had like the whole order of show, just made the videos appear and play and stuff. The credits was for me and Vani. We got to do it. I made a little setup for that, where it plays our coughs. We were allowed to cough. It was a very momentous occasion for us both. We were very excited. I was in the Discord the entire time saying like, workers' rights, we deserve to cough. Let us cough. And Gigi was like, fine, you can cough, but you're only allowed 2 coughs. 2 coughs and your PNGs on the screen. I was like, yay, yep. Oh, actually, I can talk about how I made that. So for the credits, I used a reactive image source, which is quite cool, actually. Let me just find it here for the video. So I made a reactive image, and essentially what a reactive image is I add it, I go to image reaction source, and then I can do this. And what it is I get 2 images. Reaction 1, which is this one, and then reaction 2, which is, you know, it talking or whatever you want it to be. It's essentially a second image that it changes to, but it works with an audio source. So what I did was I had Rhea Audio, which was my cough, and it reacted to that. So when when I coughed in the audio, it has a threshold and stuff. It would hear it and it would change. So it's so nice. It's like a Fuji, but like it doesn't have to tie into a Discord, so I could just like, you know, it's a great piece of technology. I just realized that I don't have the audio of my OBS playing, so you couldn't hear the coughing. Let me try that again. Amazing. Yeah. Yeah, literally, just like as soon as it picks up the audio. It's so nice as well, because even though it doesn't just work off of the audio being visible, it works off of sound. Yeah, it's great. So I did that for me and Bonnie. Yeah, so the live thing just looked like this in the end. It was all set up as a string, so like as soon as I do this, it's going to start coughing. But we come in, and then it brings in the thing, and then it dims the music, and then I cough, and then Bonnie coughs. Her cough was so much better than mine. She sounded so much like a baby. Vonnie, you beautiful beast. I can't believe it. So cute. And then, yes. And then I click it again and we all just go off. As you can probably tell as a pattern by now, it's literally just move me on, move Vonnie on, move credits down, and then do thing, and then move us off. And there you go. This is what it looked like. Very simple. This is not a tutorial, so I won't get into giga detail and show it, but you know. Yeah. These were my cameras for when they would yappin'. Here's my cut-in buttons for the when I wanted the little lightning bolts to come in. This is the button I hit to begin the winners holiday. This is Northern Lion bit start. This is take the TV off after Northern Lion's done. That's it. This was every single button I pressed for the entire show. So, thank you for watching my little breakdown of this video, a little behind the scenes work. I think we were all really happy with how it went down. It was really funny. The contestants were great. I'm glad we got so many videos in, and it was such a good time. I'm really grateful that I got to do this and help do this for Fauna, given her graduation. It was very emotional. And I'm very sad to see her go. I wish her a lot of luck in her future. But yeah, I'm just really happy that I got to do one production here with Fauna in this capacity before she left. And like big thank you to Gigi for always trusting me with this stuff to make stuff for her. I'm just really happy. I'm really happy to be involved. I'm really happy to get to do this. It's nice to, you know, take a shitpost idea and bring it up to this level of quality with like art from Vonnie, you know, just pogged out, made these beautiful backgrounds, sparkling and glittering and looking so beautiful. And you know, seeing it's fun for me because I'm just like fucking around on the producing end. You know, while I'm live, I'm just hitting all these buttons for like camera shot 1, camera shot 2. But I'm laughing the entire time on my end because they're so freaking funny. So it's just like a total joy to be able to be involved. And I'm so fucking happy and I'm so freaking grateful. So yeah, thank you very much if you were interested and watched all of this behind the scenes work on it. I really enjoy making these videos and showing you what goes into the behind the stage where I am a gremlin hunched over my stream deck. So that's all for this one. Really appreciate it. Hope you are having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever that may be in the world. And I will see you for the next behind the scenes video or whatever that may be, whenever that may come. I don't know. Goodbye. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Bye.